the Hellfudge Show. Welcome back. Okay, so Asandari Part 2. Okay. Okay, as we join this setting, I'm not going to start at some beginning or anything. Right now, two campaigns are being fought right now, plus some Western expansion into the West, which, unlike the American West, is actually interesting. And there's like vast ruins and a huge fucking desert, which I guess isn't that different, but it's different enough. Okay. So yeah, the Western expansion, they've run into cannibalistic necromancers, as I mentioned briefly before, sworn to the god Micaheth, who is the god of death. He's depicted as a man in tattered robes, sort of like the Grim Reaper, but every inch of exposed flesh would be covered by maggots or flies. So wherever he goes in person, and he does send avatars now and again, just this buzzing noise, like a multitude of flies or other insects. So yeah, the other goddess is named Sereneth, Eth being the root word for deity or god in the setting, which I just thought it was kind of neat. So on one hand, Micaheth has a bunch of necromancers, priests, and cultists on his side with intelligent undead, things of that nature. On the other hand, on the other side is Sereneth, who has paladins, inquisitors, and her church is kind of corrupted as well. Kind of has a rot in it, most likely from Micaheth and his agents. So a lot of the stuff that happens in the Serenethi church is not good. The Inquisition is the fantasy equivalent of the Spanish Inquisition, so you can imagine a bit more, being a bit more brutal than that, which you'll see later on. In fact, in the story that I'm writing, the novel, they've just actually reached a small temple, so having split off from the main army, because they found out there were necromancers in Tyros. Spoiler alert for something that'll probably never get finished. Whatever. So, yeah. In the north, there's a demonic invasion, as I said before, all stemming from a gate on Mount Ibidus, which is where a former demon lord named, surprisingly enough, Ibidus, was conquered, destroyed, but in so doing, a gate was opened, which nobody has been able to stop. They're kind of held back by a mountain range that stretches from coast to coast, which, lucky for them, but there's three major types of demons. One's a purely physical monster of nails, teeth, fangs, muscle, what have you. The other is a pure magic one, who are very powerful sorcerers. The other is more of a shadow, or a wraith. So they can pass through armor or houses or anything like that. And they can possess people. So those are the main things going on in the north, plus a new demon lord might be there. At least there's rumors of one. Now down in the south, there is open rebellion in a city-state called Tyrus, which actually used to be pretty much the city-state devoted to learning and knowledge. The great library of Tyrus is there. So it's not as simple as it may seem when it opens up. Republic good, rebels in Tyrus bad. Demons are obviously evil, or are they? I don't know, I haven't decided. And then the Western expansion is probably after the Tales of the 12th that I'm doing. Is probably going to be my next focus. I also want to do a series based in Asandari, which is the capital of the Republic. I want that one mostly to be like court and political intrigue, but I'm going to have to expand my writer's chops to handle that. So I'm going to write Tales of the 12th first, and then some on the Western expansion. I want to do some in the North too with the demons. That's going to be mostly combat oriented, and then probably do a trilogy. Maybe even like a single novel based in Asandari. I think that would be really fun. So yeah, trains. Obviously have to have trains. How else are they going to get around? Horse. That's the problem with most epic fantasy, is even when they talk about the past, they have the same level of technology, which doesn't even make sense. And yes, so when I do flashbacks, and I do them, the technology is a lot less advanced. They have swords and shields. One scene there's a blunderbuss because that's when firearms were beginning to happen. I really don't know why the fantasy genre hasn't embraced firearms yet, since we've had them for hundreds of years. In fact, even fantasies that are quasi-Renaissance don't have guns for whatever reason. They might mention gunpowder, but not guns, which have been around for a long time. Plus guns are loud and cool, and I think they will do well there. Which is why I'm also happy to see that flintlock in sorcery is coming in to effect. So like the powder mage, look it up. I can't remember who wrote it, but it was really good. So my setting, if I had to boil it down, would be High Plains Drifter in Middle Earth, if I had to boil it down. It's going to be really gritty. I'm not going to have it like over the top gritty, of course, but more realistic, which I don't know. It's hard to really put into spoken words. I can write it down perfectly, but then again, that's what I've been doing. So I should have probably written out something for this video, so it wouldn't sound so retarded. But this is part 2. I'm going to make this a 3-parter. My next one, I'm going to go kind of into geography and stuff. So, but yeah, no, there's trains have probably been around for a little bit, so there's not much railway for them to go, which is fine. Doesn't really need to be, does there? So it's pretty much a plot device, really. Not that that's a bad thing. God, what is wrong with my hair? Anyway, so yeah, no, it's I think it'll work pretty well. I wanna play test it before I send anything off to an agent or anything like that. So, anybody want to be a guinea pig for the stuff I have written? Let me know. Lots of swears, especially in the Tales of the 12th. but that makes sense, being extreme military shit. Fuck you. Goodbye.